Howdy gamers, Blade Seed Studios come back at you with another Minecraft episode. Today we're going to be going around and getting some plants that we need and taking an adventure. So first things first, I went straight over to the garden, planted some carrots, and then I went over to my pumpkins and got some pumpkin seeds and put those in the garden as well. So there's 2 out of like 50 items that we need. Got a little bored, so I just crouched and spammed it a couple times near the water, and then I went down into the mines and ended up finding a mine shaft. I did run into a cave spider spawner as well, and I was actually going to build a slime farm, so I started completely terraforming and mining out this entire area, which took a little while, but I'm not even sure if this area was going to spawn slimes or not, which is the part that really sucks about going and mining all this. And then I decided to go back up top, and I wanted to spruce up my nether portals, so I decided to build this little stump looking thing around this using some basic oak and some leaves and a couple stairs, like oak stairs and slab stairs. It's not an overly complicated build. I just wanted something a little simple, so that way it just gave that a little bit of extra oomph to the area and a little bit extra oomph to the nether portal. Like I said in a previous episode, I don't want to spend too much time in a single area. I want to move around. Small quick builds is ideal until I decide to settle down somewhere. But once I was done doing that, I wanted to go harvest some wheat, but I ended up finding a fox and it stole some of my wheat, and I didn't even realize that the foxes could actually go ahead and pick up the wheat and put it in their mouth. It was adorable. So I made sure to run over and feed him some berries. I ended up farming some carrots after that and replanting, and then I decided to take a trip into the nether, and I wanted to figure out my nether portals, and I wanted to go on an adventure like I was saying before. So the easiest way to get around the world is to build nether portals. The first task I had at hand was going and finding a swamp, but the nether portal had other plans. It brought me into a giant cave. Ended up fighting a bunch of mobs, getting a little bit of XP, and then obviously, like any Minecrafter, decided to start exploring the caves, and come to find out there was a lush biome very close. And then when I get into the lush biome, I hear axolotls swimming around, so of course I was so happy to see these cute adorable little bastards. I made sure to go and make a bunch of buckets, and I stole every axolotl in sight that I could possibly find, and eventually I got to the point where I decided to go looking around the caves, and I came across a whole shitload of diamonds. Just getting my new Silky Touch pickaxe, I decided to go ahead and grab all those diamonds and make sure not to mine them because I wanted to use fortune on them. There was a mine shaft, and the lush cave continued on forward into it, and it was just a sight to take in. Once I was done with all that though, I ended up running back to the nether portal, and I got swarmed by a mob of zombies, so I decided to end up mining all the way back up to the surface. That way I could avoid the zombies, and I ran into another mob of zombies. There was no avoiding these bastards. However, I did find the swamp that I was looking for. I was just a little bit away from it, from where my nether portal originally brought me. Ended up finding some frogs, which I totally forgot even existed in Minecraft, so I was completely baffled by this. I found a couple slimes, which is originally what I came to the swamp to get, and then a creeper blew up in my face. Yeah, that was terrifying, especially on hardcore. And I made sure to pick up my slime balls, and then I did a little bit of research on the frogs and realized that you could breed them. I was struggling to give a slime ball to this frog. He was definitely glitched, and then eventually I got to the point where I figured it out and I was capable of breeding. So I ended up grabbing the tadpoles after the eggs hatched and went exploring a little more. I ended up finding a village that was very, very, very close to the swamp that I was in, and let me tell you what, the view was absolutely amazing from all angles all the way around this village. I had to just sit here and enjoy the view for like 5 minutes, and it was a good thing that I did that because the second that I left the village, I decided to leave at night, which was a terrible idea. I was ganked by skeletons and a bunch of phantoms. The phantoms swooped down as I was trying to kill all the skeletons, and it was just a very tense, scary match. My health dropped so low so many times that entire fight. It was just crazy. All I was looking for was some slime balls, but after that I decided to leave because it was just a little bit too tense. On my adventures, I came across the trial chamber, which I didn't really get any loot. I killed all the mobs and opened up a couple chests, and like I said, I just didn't get anything good. Ended up going over to the jungle, collecting some cocoa beans after fighting some zombies, and I wanted to make sure to also grab a sapling, so I grabbed that. I came across the little nether portal thingy, which actually had enough obsidian to build another portal, and it also had a flint and steel, which was cool. So I lit that, went inside, and then came back out real quick. I totally forgot that I already had cherry blossom trees, so I ended up going and grabbing some more saplings, thinking that I didn't have them. In the next jungle over, there was bamboo, and there was also melons, so I made sure to grab those because that was another thing that we needed for our farm list. And on my adventure, I stumbled across the bee, which they're everywhere, but hey, they're friendly and cute, and a terracotta biome right after. The terracotta biome I needed for one of my builds. I needed green terracotta, so I went ahead and mined some of that. I went towards the jungle where there was another nether ruins. I was amazed how many of these I've found so far, and every single one has had enough obsidian to create another portal, so I went ahead and did that, and then I hopped in, which it was an awesome view, but I wanted to start getting back home because I was just sick and tired of dealing with stuff. I ran into an ocelot in the woods, and then I came across the puppy, one of the new puppies. I have not collected all of the dogs, and I do plan on eventually collecting every single dog. I came across even more dogs, and then I ran into a slight problem. Dogs don't teleport the way that they used to, so I ended up only being able to take one dog along with me on the boat, so I brought back this brown one. And when I got back home, I ended up putting him right next to my other pooch. There was a zombie piglin standing next to my other dog, and I was a little confused why he did not do his duty of protecting. They're so cute. I love that they added this in, but they also really need names. I have not thought of any. After chefing it up in the kitchen, I went over to the garden and planted the melons. I took a quick nap because I didn't want to deal with the phantoms. I put some pottery down. I planted a jungle tree and put some cocoa beans on it because that's one of the items that I needed. I planted a little forest of different tall flowers. I planted some bamboo along our garden path, and then I did a couple enchants, which by enchants weren't too bad. I just needed something for protection because some of my armor broke, so I wanted to go into the nether and link to one of the other nether portals that I created, so I ended up finding that using the coordinates that I wrote down. It was not very complicated. It was a straight line to it, and it was not too far away, and this was so I can go and get more terracotta for one of my upcoming builds. I also linked to the second portal, which once again, it was in a straight line because of the way that I explored, so it made it very easy to find it. When I got back to the overworld, I decided to work on my pathway going up around to where I wanted to make more houses and make it a little bit easier to get up towards my main base area that I'm gonna build. I say main base like I'm actually gonna stay remaining here, but hey, I have no home. But anyways, the point is, where the primary big house of this little village is going to be, it's going to be up on the hill. I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. I have a couple real simple ideas, but I want something a little bit more expansive and a little bit more creative. My pathways are literally the same blocks that we used in the previous episode, by the way, but I did want to go on an adventure again, and the first thing that I pretty much ran into was a pack of dogs and this lush cave that was like growing on top of the world. As I was exploring, I saw a distant island, and it ended up being a mushroom island, which was really freaking cool because I wanted some of the mushroom blocks because obviously, I want to sit there and grow mushrooms in my little fantasy village that I'm building that has mushroom houses. Who wouldn't want to do that? And ironically enough, there was also an ancient ruins portal also on the island. I ran back to the house. There was a huge ass cave. Me and my pack of dogs would like to say thank you for watching. We appreciate all of you. Like and subscribe. I'm Blade Seed Studios, and I'm out.